Won't a meditation practice make me less ambitious? Won't a meditation practice make me less driven at work? Won't it make me less motivated at my career? If I had $1 for every time I've heard that question, I could have easily paid the US national debt. I know the answer to this question. I know so many people who are elite performers at their career. They are in jobs, they are consultants, they have businesses, the whole spectrum. But I don't want to name anyone here. Because the moment I name someone, your mind will go, oh, but their situation is different. So I want to answer this objectively. And I don't want to bring in my own experience as well. We will look at this question very objectively. And for that, we will refer to this book, The Inner Game of Tennis. This is not a tennis book only. This is a peak performance book. And this book is recommended by business leaders like Bill Gates. Bill Gates says this is the top 5 books he recommends. Also NFL coaches and of course tennis stars. So we will look at this book because it has stood the test of time. This book has been out there selling multi-million copies in the last 50 years or so, and it's a peak performance book. So let's start. In this book, the author says there is a master skill from where everything is downstream. And that master skill, he says, is relaxed concentration. In other books, they call it doing, non-doing, effortless effort, and relaxed concentration. It takes time to really understand it and to really experience relaxed concentration. But the author says, let me pull up my notes. The author describes various skills in the books, which I will cover next, but he says all those skills are subsidiary to the master skill, without which nothing of value is ever achieved. The art of relaxed concentration. Let me pause for a moment because he said, without which nothing of value is ever achieved. And this is someone who has coached so many people, so many corporations at the elite level is telling you, without relaxed concentration, nothing of value is possible. What are the other skills for peak performance, you must be wondering. The first one, focus attention. The author says, learning focus of attention is a skill that has unlimited application. As one achieves focus, the mind quiets. As the mind is kept in the present, it becomes calm. Focus means keeping the mind now and here. We can't argue with any of this. The author says peak performance is a function of a still mind. How do we get to a still mind? By keeping the mind in the present. How do we keep the mind in the present? By focus attention. So what do you focus attention on? The author answers it for us. Focus attention on breathing. Whether on or off the court, I know of no better way to begin to deal with anxiety than to place the mind on one's breathing process. Putting attention on breathing simply means observing my breath going in, going out, going in, going out in its natural rhythm. It does not mean intentionally controlling my breath. That makes me smile because he just described Anapana meditation. If you've done a 10-day Vipassana course, or if you have looked at videos on YouTube, you know that is the first one third of a Vipassana course. If you do a 10-day course, you spend 3 days observing your breath, going in, coming out, without labeling it, without judging it as it is. As the teacher says, yatha bhut, as it is. This is exactly what is described here. Focus attention, one of the key skills to performance. The second one is developing a non-judgmental mind. The skill Galway says you have to learn is seeing things non-judgmentally. See what is happening rather than noticing how well or how badly it is happening. Once again, if you've ever taken a Vipassana course, you know this is what we do. Observing the breath, observing the sensations on the body without judgment. The author here is careful. He isn't telling you to ignore your errors. He says letting go of judgments does not mean ignoring errors. It simply means seeing events as they are and not adding anything to them. Sounds familiar? As you develop non-judgmental awareness, you also develop the other skill he mentions for peak performance. These two are kind of related. He says detached interest. Detached interest. This takes a while to understand, and think this is what troubles a few meditators who feel that they will lose interest and drive in their career. But that's really not the case. This is a detached interest. You are not attached, craving. And if I scroll down to my notes, the author says the cause of most stress can be summed up by the word attachment. So that's why we are talking about detached interest. The author's example makes it clear. Think of a parent who observes a child learning to walk. When the child loses the balance and falls, the parent doesn't condemn the child for being clumsy. This is our mistake. We start identifying with our errors. That's the issue. But once we start to develop the non-judgmental mind, this detached interest also starts to develop, which is a key skill for peak performance. The third one, becoming aware of your body. The author is talking about tennis here. Let me quote: become aware of your body. Know what it feels like to move your body into position, as well as how it feels to swing your racket. He adds, expanding sensory knowledge of your body will greatly speed the process of developing skill. Once again, this is so familiar because if you've taken a Vipassana course, you know that this is the 2/3 of the course. We observe the sensations in the body and we are developing the awareness to watch it non-judgmentally. Well, I hope this answers your question. Vipassana meditation is 100% aligned with the peak performance. Now, you are welcome to go ahead and read the book, but if only we could learn these things by reading, it would have been so much simpler. How do you learn relaxed concentration? How do you learn how to focus your attention? I mean, these things need an environment, a teacher who can take you step by step and you can really learn. And well, that is where you experience all of this. Intellectualization doesn't really help. And the author talks about it as well. The process is an incredibly simple one. The important thing is to experience it, don't intellectualize it. He adds, to experience the difference is to know the difference. You have to experience it. Once again, this is what we learn in a 10-day course, to experience the reality as it is, non-judgmentally, with focus attention. All of this that he says is pretty much the curriculum of a 10-day Vipassana course. It's really making me smile that this is all coming from a peak performance book. Now, to end, and those of you who practice Vipassana would know that the teacher talks about it. Building inner stability, perhaps the most indispensable tool for human beings in modern times, is the ability to remain calm in the midst of rapid and unsettling changes. Well, that is why we practice. I made another video where I go exactly on this inner stability a bit in detail. That was after my 20-day course. If you're interested, you can watch that one. But I hope I was able to answer your question. No. Vipassana practice, regular meditation practice will not make you less motivated. Thank you. Bye-bye.